Hello, my name is Ashley,
I'm Jared.
and we just went to the movies.
Yeah, today we saw My Old Ass. There was a movie starring Maisie Stella and Aubrey Plaza. Both of those people are playing a character known as Elliot.
Old Elliot and young Elliot.
That's right. Older. I mean, we're like Aubrey Plaza's age, so let's not jump around.
She's 39. She's her 39-year-old
Whoa.
self.
Like, not old. Whoa.
Okay, so like you thought you were 39 for a whole day? Or no, you thought you were 39 for like a whole year.
Yeah.
And then your birthday happened, and you realized you were 38.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, and they're both playing the character Elliot. Percy Hines White, he plays a character known as Chad. He's famous now. That guy's hella famous. Wednesday's a big deal. This one is directed by, she's done a bunch of other things. Megan Park. I'm not familiar with any of her work. Apparently she's really great. Tennessee is what she's really known for, is the name of the show.
Okay.
Haven't seen it. I'm going to check it out, though, now, because this was really interesting. Jump into some synopsis things.
Yeah, definitely. Just so you know, if you haven't seen it yet and you plan on seeing it, maybe skip this video and come back, because we're going to discuss it like you've already watched it with us.
Yeah, we are going to be doing some spoiling stuff, so here we go. Elliot is raised in a small town where her parents are like cranberry farmers, which is
A small town in Canada.
a terrifying occupation for myself, what with their reputation for gigantic spiders that climb up on you and bite you a lot.
They're the employees, you see.
I do not like spiders, so therefore I can't like cranberry farming.
I don't mind spiders. Cranberry farming sounds like a dream.
Terrifying. Great. So her parents run this cranberry farm, and she's like been dreaming of getting out. She runs into some really fun interactions when she is exploring some psychedelic drugs.
Her and her friends go to a little island and they take a bunch of mushroom tea, and they all have very different trips. Like, one of her friends is like dancing, and then her other friend is like talking to somebody. Bunnies. She found a little bun.
That's right.
Like somewhere in the forest, and like befriended it. So she had like the Snow White experience.
Yeah, it was really fun. Really cute.
Super cute.
And our main character ends up meeting her older self.
Yeah, she just materializes out of nowhere, and then they start chatting.
And it's in an effort to try and make their future lives better. Aubrey Plaza's Elliot says to younger Elliot, maybe don't meet Chad. Just don't meet. Stay away from anybody named Chad.
Can't get back his time.
And naturally, Chad shows up at the farm.
Within 5 minutes.
Yeah, and starts working there, and they are thrust into conversations with each other. And they do end up hanging out a bunch, and much to older Elliot's dismay here, is not thrilled at all.
Yeah, so older Elliot like implies that something terrible happens with Chad, and you think that like maybe he's done something to like break her heart, or she implies that something terrible happened that like alters the entire like course of her life. But she doesn't tell you what. So the entire time you're like waiting for like
Chad to like come out as like a serial killer or a real piece of shit, or
like some terrible trait. But the entire movie he's just so charming and sweet, and just he's so thin and gawky.
He's like an awkward fella.
Yeah, just like
but just
harmless,
like, being a kid, you know.
Oh, and the main character is a lesbian.
That's true.
But then she turns out to be less of a lesbian than she thought, like by a Chad's length.
I enjoyed that conversation with her friend Ro about like when labels are cool until we don't need them anymore, and then we don't need to worry about this stuff. And that was like really cool and thought provoking, I thought.
So like anyway, I won't like. Should we talk about the ending?
Let's do it.
Okay, so like. The ending of the movie, like, kind of sneaks up on you. Because, like, the entire thing is, like, so cute. And, like, it's a real easy watch.
Sure. That,
like, you don't really see the ending coming until, like, you're just like, oh. So, like, at the end, like, Aubrey Plaza, like, the older Elliot takes, like, a bunch of weed.
Yeah. She's like, I had to steal, like, 2 pounds of weed from my roommate. And
Yeah, to reconnect with, like, her younger self. And then she, like, explains to her younger self to, like, Chaz doesn't ever do anything wrong. He just fucking dies on her. And it just fucks her up for the rest of her life. Which, like, you spend the entire movie falling in love with this character. And, like, you can feel that. Like, it fucked me up a little bit. Like, Allergy Season was alive and well in that theater. Like, the entire time. It was just like, what do you mean he dies?
It was, that was pretty sad. But also, hopeful. That's fine. Let's talk about it. What did you like about the movie?
Okay, so so the premise of the movie is at the end you figure it out. It's like, would you forgo being with the love of your life, knowing that one day they would die, knowing that they would leave you?
This is your favorite? This is the best part about the movie to you?
I mean, it really makes you think, though. Like, I don't know, man. And in the end, like, Elliot ends up still being with him because, like, what is love but a risk?
That's true.
And, like, when you're young, you do shit like that, like, all the time. Like, your frontal lobe's not done.
Yeah, lobing.
Yeah. So you're just...
Only just begun to lobe.
Exactly. And, like, actually, like, I don't know, if you think about it, like, the Chad character deserves to find love before he's dead. Like, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that Cher song. Do you believe in life after lobe?
But yeah, no, it wasn't what I expected in a good way. My
Unbelievable.
My pros were the characters were very relatable. It was a very relatable coming of age film.
Sure.
The relationships between the characters felt authentic. Like, the relationships between the main character and her siblings felt not forced.
Yeah.
And you could tell that they just had different personalities, but they weren't so cartoonish that it felt like fake, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Like, her dad seemed like
exaggerated.
He seemed like a cranberry farmer, just like a regular guy that also has a job. The premise was really interesting and unique, I thought. And it made you feel good, but also sad, but like in a good way. Like, it made you remember what it was like to really, really love like the first person you ever loved and then to lose them. Because like most relationships end either by somebody leaving or death.
Yeah.
In fact, all of them do, actually.
Not a one makes it past this. Well, I guess that we know of.
Better not bow out before me.
Save you a seat if I do. I actually had this on my pros as well, that the movie was really genuine. Mm-hmm. Like, the cast, it felt like that they had spent a lot of time together before the filming. That, like, maybe they're just really great at acting, but it felt like they were really genuine and really, like, visible, like, respect for each other, which seemed really fun. One of my bigger likes was that they wasted no time. In a movie that's about not wasting time, predominantly, they just jumped right in there. They're going to the island, straight into the mushrooms. We're getting this started right on time. The movie had a runtime of what, 1:20?
It wasn't a really long movie. It was
perfect.
Like I said, the ending snuck up on me because like I wasn't expecting it to end there. Oh my god, when like old Aubrey Plaza like hugs Chad and like,
god. It was tough.
It was hard. It was a really good watch. It was really sweet. Fuck.
The cast, again, the cast and not feeling to have to explain those relationships, so that was really cool. They're just like, you're like put in the middle of these relationships, and they sold it to me. I bought it. Yeah. It was awesome.
It was really good acting, man. Like, the people that they really picked out to be in this are just so fantastic.
And let's also be honest that this was not an Aubrey Plaza movie.
No. She was more like a tertiary character.
Yeah. It was like she was in and out like a couple of times. That's a wrap.
Yeah. She made a big impact in it for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this to be such a dramatic film. I thought it was going to be like silly. And it was not as silly as I thought it would be. There's some silly parts for sure.
There was a delicate balance of like kind of like this morose defeat and hope. It could have been so easy for them to just like fall off into this one of these tropes where you're feeling kind of, the character's like feeling kind of negative, and they had to spend like 20 minutes trying to coax her out of this depressive state before realizing that everything was okay, and they didn't fall into that. I thought that was a really great idea.
She didn't think twice about being with like her partner.
Yeah, didn't dwell on it too hard. I thought that was really important to the plot. It didn't make the movie just drag out and be bullshit.
It's like the ball dropping as you find out what Chad did wrong, and you realize literally nothing. He just left.
And like he's at the place she's going to.
This mortal coil.
Like what the that's so cool. Like she's on her way to that college and he's like, yeah, I go there. So yeah.
But you don't know how long they're going to be together. You don't know how much time they have together. Anything like that. You just know that he's not going to be there forever.
What Aubrey Plaza didn't say was he was dead tomorrow.
What?
I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Oh, I was like, I missed that?
I'm sorry.
Did I nod off?
Yeah, the cast are really fun. I want to give extra shouts to Carice Brooks, who played Ro, her best friend. She's charming, and their relationship was really fun.
It felt genuine.
It felt like they actually knew each other, and
she felt like my best friend too.
I bought it. Yep.
Yeah, man.
It was great. Let's talk about cons. What did you not like?
I only had one con. I didn't like the Bieber dance scene because Bieber was after my time. I don't fucking give it. If it was maybe Backstreet Boys, I'd be like, okay, yeah, coming of age, but like fucking Justin Bieber.
I get that too. I honestly
and
feel
normally I love a well-placed dance scene for sure. It was just
I'm kind of with that also. Yeah, I didn't actually write that on mine. That was good catch. It was out of place, but it was still a fun time.
Yeah. She was on mushrooms, and you found out why her friend was dancing on mushrooms in the beginning. They were doing a really similar dance.
That's true.
That's why I started laughing. I was like, okay, that's what was happening
fun.
There.
I didn't like not telling little Elliot about the farm, selling the farm. It seemed like everyone fucking knew. Like, how would they not know? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. It felt like something that like a family would sit down with the family members and let them know.
I feel like at the end of the day, it was one of the least important things that happened to old Elliot.
That's fair. Yep.
Like, it ended up, she wasn't going to take the farm anyway. It wasn't like a big part of her life. She was just upset that like such a big part of her childhood was getting sold off.
Sure.
But it wasn't like a part of her future, and it never was going to be.
I tend to shy away from these sorts of experiences. I like fantasy things, science fiction, horror stuff. I tend to shy away from movies that are about real life. And it's kind of specifically for one of the reasons why this movie made me feel this way. Is that like that impermanence, kind of bums me out in real life. I'm going to be honest, because I think about it all the time. That existential.
Your own demise?
Yeah, that existentialist stuff is it's always scary. I'm a hypochondriac, so like it's always there. That realization of like that impermanence is kind of goes to no small lengths to making you feel alone in life. That is all my shit. This is like psychiatrist stuff, and not taking away from this movie at all. It planted me in the space for introspection. It didn't make me think that the movie was awful. It was incredible.
It kind of, because everybody was able to play their part so well, you felt yourself fit into that world very easily. So like when something horrible happens to a character, it affects you. Because it was they did a good job at making everybody super relatable and like
totally
friendly. Like I don't know. You cared about the characters in the end.
I totally agree. It was such a great time. It was concise. It was to the point. It told a great story. The cast were amazing. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'm glad it wasn't shorter. That's a plus to it. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't longer. That's a plus to it. Like,
this was one of those movies where if it was a little bit longer, I probably wouldn't have minded it. Because, I don't know, I was enjoying it a lot. Like, There's some movies where there's like 14 endings, and you're just like, okay, it was good, but like, let's wrap it up.
Be careful what you say next. That's all I'm going to say.
Return of the King.
Oh, God damn it. Couldn't help yourself. Excellent. The lovely Ashley, what do you grade it?
I give it 9.
I gave it a fucking 9-2. I thought it was so much fun. I thought it was a great drama, and I had a lot of fun. Cast was
I don't
great.
like a lot of dramas, and I really enjoyed this.
I really liked it.
It wasn't even like as a comedy even that funny. There was jokes, but it was like it wasn't like what I was expecting. I was expecting to like be laughing the entire time, like crying, laughing. But I was just crying. But like I enjoyed it, and for the most part with movies, I don't like it when they make me feel. Like
I totally agree.
I don't love emotion coming out of me for entertainment. But in this case, I did not hate it.
Loved it. It was really fun. Thank you, Megan Park, for directing. It was really wonderful. What's this got on Rotten Tomatoes right now?
9.2.
92%.
I'm sorry, 92%.
Yeah.
Yes.
9.2 is
So,
that.
like, the people really enjoyed it. So, if you haven't seen it and you watch this anyway, like I asked you not to, maybe go see it.
You should see it. It was really fun.
Even though you know, like, the twist ending now. Goofball.
What a ding dong. Are we seeing Megalopolis tomorrow?
Yes. And we're going to see it in IMAX because it says it's filmed in IMAX. And I feel like the visuals. Is Sofia Coppola?
No, Francis Ford Coppola.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay. Anyway, a Coppola did it.
So,
So,
yeah.
like, you know it's going to look pretty.
Apparently, he's dumped $125 million of his own money into it.
I say goddamn.
So, apparently. Well, anyway, I don't want to burn too much of that because we're going to see it tomorrow, and I can't wait. Flowers at the movies. Let's go to the movies more.
Okay. Yes.
And I'm Jared.
I'm Ashley.
Thank you. Oh, subscribe if you can.
Yeah, why not?
It does help. I appreciate you. Comment if you've seen it. Comment how you felt. I really appreciate you. 12 subs. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, brothers.
It's a great time. Have a great night.
Bye.